Hello, hello, everyone. Uh, we are ready to roll on the buns. In fact, we actually just did a stone vigil so that Ladonia can get Dragoon up.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little more ways to go on Dragoon and Pugilist, but they're moving right along. So tonight's current attractions is we are going to head to Aurum Vale, so we have a chance to raise our our grand company standings and possibly our free company while we're at it.
Mm-hmm. And, other things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tagging along for the ride.
You are
really?
always welcome. Let's see, we also have... We need to turn in at the Waking Sands. And then probably head down to the Forgotten Strings? Yeah. I'm just looking at the quest and the route we need to take. If we want to, we can swing by the Waking Sands real quick, because we're going to go right by it.
Mm-hmm.
To do the turn-in for the, Slashless. I'm probably butchering her name. I'm sorry! I hope everyone has had an awesome 4th of July. It's been mostly somewhat lazy around here. Baron was kind enough to cook up some wonderful pork chops for dinner.
After suffering sticker shock.
Yeah, he originally was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna make the true American dinner of steak for everybody. And then he looked at all the steak at the market, and to get steaks for everyone would cost about $65 just for the meat.
Yeah, well, he was just kind of looking at it and going, realizing, we went to our favorite Americana place the night before. And he was going, I should probably get on the boat.
Yes, you should get on the boat.
He was going, we could have all gone there and ordered steak and, with the side dishes and the drinks and, paying them to do all the cooking for us, and it'd be cheaper.
So we had nice pork chops instead.
Yeah. Yeah, fairly lazy day here. Did my usual lazy day type of things, which is, wargaming in the morning. And then, oh dear. Why are they shouting Lahi?
That must have been back in Limsa.
Yeah, it would have been.
Though I'm noticing an increase of FC advertisements.
Gee. And then, spent half an hour watching an episode of Girls on the Panzer while clipping counters. So, there you go. How American can you get?
I don't know. Was it the Saunders fight?
Yeah, the first half of.
There you go.
All Shermans all the time.
That was such a good series. It was such a sleeper hit.
Yeah, well, certainly the studio producing it was going, wait, we're being popular. How'd that happen?
And it had fan service galore if you're a big fan of tanks. If you're looking for fan service from squeaky teenage girls, that totally did not happen. That's right, peeps. It was so minor. It was like inconsequential.
Yeah.
I'm ignoring you, Blue Bang, over there. We'll deal with you in 50.
What are we stopping here for?
Questioning. With Flassless.
Right.
The seas have carried you back to me, I see. I've got wind of me earnest matey's triumph, and ye contributions as well. You've made a fine pirate yourself, aye? Bringing the pirates together with the promise of treasure and glory. That's bold, I know, aye. And from what I hear, it's already caught the ear of many a buccaneer. Boyden and I go back a ways, we do. We were comrades, friends, and even more than that on occasion, if memory serves.
One would hope you'd remember that.
I've got nothing but respect for the man, but building the proper army out of old buccaneers won't be easy. Any idea he comes up with, you can bet the Merowibs already had it. Treasure and glory are all well and good, but do you know what truly calls a pirate to the open seas? Freedom. And that's something the Maelstrom can't never offer. But I can only hope that the others of me kind answer the call. Then and only then can I be sure to me decision to be part of. Then and only then can I be sure that me decision to be part with me Yellow Jacket comrades was the right one. And we've got the other two, so we're good to go.
And Foxfire, I have to say, I don't know that title. Owl House?
Yeah, I generally don't keep track of a lot of American animation simply because I tend to prefer things with big running stories that I can sink my teeth into. Episodic stuff usually doesn't hold my attention very long. Okay, it's off to Arm Vale. Choo-choo. But I can't fly.
No.
The question is do we want to take the shortcut? Through Northern Thanalan.
Yeah, went so well last time. It's exciting.
It does cut like an extra 3 zones out of the equation.
Yes,
but,
yes, it does.
It can be kind of dangerous. Yeah, the one I'm scratching my head over that's supposed to come out this year. Unfortunately, it's going to be on Disney Plus, which we don't get. Is they're doing a MODOK series, stop motion.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite the right name, but yeah.
And it's being done by the creators of Robot Chicken.
Which is perfect for him.
Yeah.
I can look up his name real fast.
Yeah, if you know anything about the Marvel Universe, MODOK was, special. He basically controlled a universe that was all about TV shows and entertainment.
Yeah, you're familiar with him if you followed Excalibur back in the day, because he was kind of heavily involved in that. Yeah, it was Mojo, though fuller name I don't have at the moment.
So, the fact that that's being done by the same guys who did Robot Chicken, it's like, this could be meat, this could be cake, this is probably going to be meat cake.
Yeah. Because they're kind of perfect for him.
Yes, they are. Robot Chicken was a guilty pleasure of mine. I could only take it in very small doses. It was half the time and very off, but when it was on, it was on. Here we go. Wish us luck. We still don't have the speed advance in this zone.
No.
Of which, I don't know if I talked about it or not, but... Well, first off, I know I've talked about... Excuse me. The fact that... FF14 is getting a live-action TV series.
Really?
Done by the same company that did the Witcher series.
Ooh, interesting.
So it actually has a good chance. Ripley, I'm talking about MODOK.
No. Mojo.
No.
Well, the person that you told me about should be Mojo.
No, this is MODOK. Who's
Then
kind
who's
of...
MODOK? Because the person you're describing... No, the person you keep describing, that's Mojo.
He's basically a giant head with these little stubbly legs hanging off of him.
Kind of a light yellow color?
A very kind of tubular, squarish.
Wouldn't say that.
It's showing off their new mount. When we get into the next zone, so that things are not like wanting to kill us. Yeah, totally a Kirby character. And MODOK, of course, is actually an acronym. But I don't remember what the acronym stands for.
And now for the fun part of the ride.
Yeah.
Straight through a Gurlian base.
So, as I was saying, FF14 is getting a live action. The ink is on the paperwork, but we have not heard anything from the production on that end. With that said, except for the fact that it is supposed to be a Netflix series. With that said, about a week or so ago, it was announced that FF9 is getting an animation series.
Really?
That's right, you were mentioning that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be aimed at a, tween audience. And it's being done by a French company.
Yeah, that could get interesting.
I hate Nixes.
Yes. Refrain for the next 10 levels.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see how that series goes. I have good hopes for it, but you never know what you get until you get it. This is a good place to wait for Tay.
Need a hand?
I wanted you to show off your doggo.
Alright.
Yes, because we finally got through with that.
And that's the Kamui of the 9 tails, even though it only has 7. Yeah.
Isn't she very pretty?
She is very pretty. And we all got one of those. But we purposely waited to do the quest for Tay to get their last mount from Seiryu.
Snick boy.
Yeah, Snick Boy. He was being far more generous than Suzaku was.
Oh,
He was the
doesn't
most
take
generous.
much.
Oh my god, Suzaku, dang girl. I know you like dance parties, but let us go, please. Hello, Willimus.
From the maelstrom, I presume. Yes, I suppose you should suffice. The Holy See is not one to beseech assistance from foreign armies, but the task before us is a daunting one, and our own knights are occupied with matters of greater import. Mayhap you have already heard rumors of the Aram Vale. Many a miner has been lured into its cavernous recesses by promises of vast fortunes to find only death, and doubly so. Excuse me. If the noxious fumes don't get them, the carnivorous fronds that lurk are happy to oblige. While there is little we can do about the former, dispatching the latter would go far in sparing the lives of unfortunate treasure seekers. So it is that we turn to you.
Actually, you would be correct. In fact, that was part of the tag on the Kamui of the Nine Tails, is that it totally wasn't the Kyuubi of the Nine Tails, because Kyuubi of the Nine Tails actually exists as a world boss in this game.
Really?
Yes!
Oh, that's hilarious.
She's a super rare spawn, kind of like Ixion and Behemoth and that big ugly moth thing down in the Tempest.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Are we ready?
Sure.
Okay, I've got my taking boots on. You've got your healing boots on.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Tay's got the stabbing stabbers. So, away we go.
The stabbing stabbers of stabbiness?
Now to see, just how badly am I nerfed? Okay, not nearly as bad as I thought.
I think you have some of your good AoEs in place now. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Good, because we're going to need them. But yeah, Ripley, metal organism designed only for killing, Modoc.
Yeah, I managed to look that up. That's not a character I know at all. So I can definitely see what you mean by, yes, drawn by Jack Kirby.
Oh, it is totally a Kirby character.
But what you keep describing sounds an awful lot like Mojo.
And bringing back towards the wall.
Yes. And yeah, I am healing my little bunny ears off.
You will be healing your little bunny ears off all night. Sorry.
Unless it's hide already.
I'm going to try something here. Because he's
You
going to
do
come
it.
and bite us if we don't take him. of places, this is probably like, as far as the player base is concerned, one of the most ugly, horrible dungeon duties you can ever get in the game. I actually don't mind it that much. I don't like it, but I don't dislike it either. And part of the reason why is it is really easy to pull too big, and it will gleefully hand you your butt on a silver platter.
Yes. This is not a place for wall-to-wall pulling.
No.
Yeah, I think we had to kick a tank once because he just would not stop trying to pull the whole room. It's like, dude, it's obvious the healer can't keep up with you. Stop trying.
Yeah, that's bad.
And he got all pissy about it, and so we just both kicked him.
That was the correct move. Yeah, this is like one of the few dungeons that line of sight pulling actually is important. Well, the place used to be worse because it used to be tied a lot more to status effects.
Oh, crap.
Yes. It's what they do.
What are you talking about? It's still connected to a lot of status effects.
But I remember one time as they were in, I was feeling really blue and I didn't want to deal with people, but I just had this vague feeling in the itching in the back of my head that I should queue for Dungeon in Progress's tank. So I did. And I immediately open up, and the first thing I see coming across the screen was, "Please don't abandon us!" They were 10 minutes, not like 9-10 minutes in, and the frog was staring at us from the entrance. There was not a single thing dead in the entire front room.
Oh.
Apparently what happened is their original tank tried to pull everything into the boss room, wiped...
That so does not work here.
And note, the healer was really good. But yeah. They wiped, and then the tank immediately left the party. They got another tank in. He said, "Oh god, it's Eorzea," and left. I was like tank number 3. And I was like looking around going, "Oh dear, I feel for you." They're like, "Will you please take for us?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can do this place, no problem." And I talked with the healer. I did a quick inspect of the healer. The healer was like top gear, max level, in full high-end Savage equipment. I was like, this should be no problem.
No problem there.
If there was a problem, it was purely on the tank's end. And we rocked the place. Everyone did a really good job, even with the 2 DPS being new people. There was only one pull that got a little questionable, and the hero was like, "No, we can deal with this." But I was so glad I queued at that point, because they really needed the help.
Oh, very
Nice.
good.
Just a second.
Yeah.
I'm debating on whether I need to put that ring on. Has no tenacity, but oh lordy. Yeah, I'm putting that ring on.
Just not feeling that tenacious.
Okay, this is one where I'm going to be doing some line of sight pulling.
Yes.
I mean, these guys aren't too bad, but it's so easy to get overwhelmed if you get so many of them.
Yeah. One or two, it's not any sort of actual problem, but keeping it to one or two is the issue.
Get those fruit first.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
Yeah, that works.
And thankfully, I don't have much health.
No.
Yeah.
They're basically, you just need to tap them.
Okay, I'll get the gold vine, get those fruit. There we go. Yeah, the biggest trick with this guy is making sure he's pointed away from the rest of the party.
Yes. But yes, we are in Marlborough country, which is another reason why people don't like Orange Vale.
I don't
And I can't blame them for that one. I mean, definitely a monster that the less time I spend near them, the better.
Need the
The
seedling.
normal seedling. Yeah. I don't want to need the seedling. But I have the seedling. And yeah, this room we're at the edge of, another place where you can easily overpull. That is one of the things that makes it kind of hated by a lot of people is no matter where you go, if it's not the boss encounter, you can overpull.
I mean, you can pull this entire room safely if the healer is on top of things.
More so than most of the others, but you can still get in a lot of trouble doing it.
Yeah. And you better be overgeared when you do it.
And especially if you try doing it and you aren't expecting what will result. Yeah. This is fine. No, it's not fine.
Oh, it was a while ago. I don't know if I told you guys this story yet or not. I was helping Nima and School for Girls with a Blue Mage run. And somehow we got onto the topic of the Blue Mage mount, which is a Morbol. And how it was very hentai. And then I talked to him about the classic anime grape soda. Tentacle grape.
Yes.
It's a real product.
Yes.
They mostly show at conventions.
Gee, funny
But
that.
of course with 2020 being what it was, the convention scene just didn't happen. But he got a really good laugh out of it. And then later on, I actually found the website where they're actually selling for mail order tentacle grape.
Yep. I'm still curious about that car I spotted the other day, which had the license plate not Nima. Okay. Is there something we need to know? Is there some reason why why I might think it's Nima? It wasn't the taco truck. I don't understand.
What was that, dude? Ah.
100-ton swipe. Flower.
The fact that you have Trick Attack in here is a godsend.
That's why I came as Ninja.
100-ton swipe. And Eye of the Beholder. Swing.
Sorry, I should have done that.
Very good. Well, everything's fine.
Fortunately, ninjas
Why-
move fast natively.
How fast do they move? At the speed of server.
There we go.
Will you stop glowering at me? I'm just doing my job. And yeah, my job does involve killing you, so... But I'm not the only one here doing it.
Yeah, this is where things get squirrely. Let them come in.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I faced them away from Madonia.
Yep.
Poisoned peasants coming in. Okay, not that close, but... Oh, good luck with that Foxfire. That goes well.
Yeah, totally.
And hopefully my dad will be coming back up tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Knock on
Over a
wood.
couple of days, yeah.
Server bases. We'll probably see a lot of inside here.
Yes. Just like we've been seeing a lot of stone vigil and the such. Now, what is the next dungeon after Armvale?
Are you ready for this one?
At least as ready for it as I am Armvale.
Wanderer's Palace. This is the last pre-50 dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, in AR they didn't have a 59. 59 was technically a trial, which we can't get to until we get access to Operation Archon.
Yeah.
And take it to the Garlands. Line of sighting these guys.
Yeah.
This room's a lot of line of sight.
Yes. And once again, a lot of potential trouble. Ding!
Oh, grats.
Nice.
Stay back for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gods. We don't exactly have the range to do this, unfortunately. That works!
You were saying?
Because we've got these guys in the corner here.
Yep.
I don't know if you can target them from off me or not.
Oh, that was the wrong one. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to grab the gold vine. Go ahead and run forward and deal with those fruit.
Okay. Like that.
Run forward, Tick. Yeah.
I'm gonna get this other corner. Yeah.
Yeah, deal with those fruit.
Okay, dealt with. Now to save you. This is also a good dungeon for learning all about tank privilege.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this gold vine back.
Other than the fact that the main tank privileges don't exist yet.
Good fruit.
Yeah.
Works for me. Oh, nice kick.
That still looks kind of scholarly for me. Kind of dry.
I don't know. Could be kind of rotten around here.
The book.
Oh, look how wet this place is.
Yeah, well.
I mean,
Working. Yeah, that takes the pressure off.
oh, that was a little scary. Sorry.
You weren't the only one scared. I'm going, I've gotten behind the curve on this and I'm not getting back up ahead of it. Mapping the realm. And of course, what else would the final boss in here be Better
I
mother-in-law.
wouldn't trade her for all the golden Arm Vale, and you're sitting there going, Arm Vale has no gold. It is a giant cesspit that just looks golden.
Yeah. It's kind of like one of the places you do not like finding in Star Control 2. The Eorzea planet.
Yeah.
Bought that. I'm gonna have to play it.
Star Control 2, if you haven't played it before, it is very good.
It was dirt cheap on GOG. They had a sale.
Yeah.
It is a very good game.
You can also get it for free because the original designers got hold of proper rights for the source code from the 3DO version.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it's a very good game, a very unusual. One of the more unusual RPGs you're going to find.
Yeah, they actually had it in a pack with both 1 and 2.
1 is also good for different reasons. I like it for reasons that a lot of people didn't. 1, number 1, they say, Chronicles of the whichever, or Volume 4 as kind of their subtitle. Time for some lucid dreaming. This regeneration really takes it out of me.
Lagging. Okay, my Mudra's getting screwed up. Oh, just a tiny touch of lag.
Oh, good timing. Because I was about to tell you the tank privilege. Hey, go get a fruit.
Yeah, you're at 6 stack. Holy moly! Why are you still
Yeah.
live?
My regen seems to be that good.
Region is pretty awesome.
So I'm looking at it going, he's actually not taking the damage? And then, the next hooked burst goes off and he loses 2/3 of his health. I'm going, get a fruit!
Good job, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the time you start talking about, like, eye surgery.
Mm.
38 to a 47 belt. Wait, what do you mean I can't need? Okay, I'll pass. Boo.
You have Pugilist, right?
Yes.
I will let you have those.
But yeah, I've seen full parties just completely faceplant on this place. But we did
Oh, yeah.
really spectacular, actually.
Well, that's because we're intelligent and we know what's going on here and we know what the dangers are.
Well, we've also run this since original
Yes.
AAR.
Yes. That's part of being intelligent and knowing what the dangers are. But yeah, the original stir-controlled game was more kind of an arcade space combat game in style. It has 3 modes, the first of which is just like a practice mode, I forget what they call it, and you basically pick any pair of ships and just fight them against each other constantly.
Right.
The most popular mode in that one was called Melee, because there is a story behind it all, and there's 2 sides, and basically, each side gets one each of their different ship types, and whoever still has ships left at the end wins.
Shall we
The
head
main
back
part
to
of the
Maelstrom so we can turn this in and then probably run it again with flipped classes?
something like that.
I went up 2 levels.
Oh, very good. I don't think I did, though. I am no.
Yeah,
but I am a long ways through 48 now.
I'm at 49 tank.
Good grief. Okay then.
So yeah, lots of good XP if you can hold your nose long enough.
Yeah. The final mode for the original Stir Control was strategic game, which I get the idea. My understanding is not very popular with a lot of people. It's what I mostly played, because that was the part I found fun. And basically, they have this 3D star map, and they have various scenarios, and they generate this 3D star map that have basically little hyperlane connections, and that was part of where the game ran into trouble. And basically, every turn you get to take basically nexus. Basically, you get to take 3 actions, and that's basically moving ships around, building bases, building a mine so that you get more resources to build ships with, and of course, the ships on each side all had their own cost, and so on. And whenever you enter a system where someone else is, you do a series of battles until, one side or the other runs out of ships. The combat is very arcadey in nature. Basically, you're looking straight top down at your ship. You can turn it, you can use thrust to get it going. It has momentum, like a lot of space games, so you start thrusting and then you just keep going. But it's a relatively small arena. It wraps around, so if you keep going left, you eventually come in from the right. And there's always a planet there to provide something to run into or duck behind, depending. And so on. And all the ships have basically special abilities for how their weaponry works. And all very inventive. And part of the backstory is, the Chinjesu, who are the heads of the Alliance, the good guys, basically come to Earth during, like the late 21st century, after we'd more or less gotten fairly peaceful, and said, look, we've got these really nasty aliens coming, conquering everything. We can use all the help we can get. Can you help us at all? And just kind of figuring out, Earth, they're not that advanced compared to galactic standards, but they need people and they need the industry and all of that. And we say, well, okay. And then we open up the quote-unquote peace vaults, where we'd basically stashed a lot of our warfare materials. And they were kind of shocked at what came out of it. And the Earthling cruiser is one of the best ships in the game.
Yeah, I remember the Earthling cruiser. The Earthling cruiser just kind of like torched everything else.
Especially at its price point. They actually make it more expensive in 2. Because they realized it was too cheap. Because it has a low thrust. That is one of its problems. but it has good turning and it has a high top speed. While they do the momentum thing, ships do have a top speed. And the Earthling cruiser has a very good one, so it takes a while to get up to top speed. Ooh, Basilisk egg. It takes a while to get up to top speed, but once it's there, you can't really catch it with much. So, everything else is kind of stuck trying to like plot an intercept course on all this momentum stuff and trying to catch up to you. And try and, blast you as you go by. Meanwhile, the main weapon for the Earth Cruiser is nuclear missile, MX surplus.
Yes. The
Which
MX
is a
surplus missiles. Those were scary.
Yeah, because they're long range, they're powerful, and they're fire and forget. They can hit almost anything. The main problem is, if it's moving away from you, it'll probably get out of its maximum range if it's at long range.
But if you're on any sort of intercept course...
Oh, yeah. And, it's fire and forget, so it's just kind of point yourself in the general direction, fire it off, and then, then turn and start thrusting to get out of the way of whatever's coming after you. And every ship has, a main weapon and a secondary. The secondary weapon is point defense laser, SDI surplus. Which is another fire and forget. It's this very short range thing, only does like a point of damage, but it will fire at everything in range. So if whatever you're fighting uses missiles, it'll generally shoot them all down. The main problem is, it does have a short recharge time and it does consume the batteries. But the Earthling cruiser is a very flexible and powerful and cheap unit in the first game, and it's still fairly cheap in the second one.
Yeah, Star Control 1 was good. Star Control 2 was awesome. Star Control 3 was meh. If I remember right.
Yeah, get into that. So that's the 3 modes in 1. 2 is kind of the same. You have basically super melee, where instead of having fixed sides and it's always one side against the other, you can set up any team you want on any points budget you want and fight them against each other. So you can come up with, these are like my 5 favorite ships. You come up with an equivalent point value worth of ships and we'll fight against each other. And that's still kind of the practice mode, because instead of the strategic mode, Star Control 2 had an RPG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Caradwin played through it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Caradwin really likes Star Control 2. And for good reason.
Well, he does have fairly good taste. I mean, there are some things I kind of wonder about when that will not be one of them.
I'm still trying to kind of low-key get him to play FF14, but I'm doing... He has his points, and it's like, you should play a game because you like and enjoy it and want to play a game. You shouldn't play a game because someone forces it down your throat.
Yes. Part of the problem is with Star Control series is the first 2 were done by a pair of people, and I'm trying to remember which first name goes with which last name. Paul Ritchie and Fred Ford, I believe. They've done a number of interesting games over the years. One of the early ones being Archon, if you remember that from the 80s. Very early 80s. And I think there's something else in that era they did, and then they did the Star Control 1 and 2. Do note what I'm not saying there. And they've done a few things after that. Most famous thing they've done semi-recently is Skylanders.
Yeah, they're the main... Oh,
yeah,
here's some news for you.
Of Toys for Bob, which did Skylanders. Yes, news.
Yeah, this is kind of news you might find interesting. So, of course, there's a big shakeup happening in Blizz right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we all know about it. One of the things they've done is they were working on Overwatch 2.
Okay, that would make sense.
As far if I'm remembering this correctly, the in-house production of Overwatch 2 has stopped, and it is being handed over to Toys for Bob.
Really?
Really?
That's a very interesting choice of studio. That's not their kind of game.
No, it's not. But this is the kind of thing Activision has been pulling recently.
Yeah, about to say, you don't... This is...
The only problem is they'll probably...
bring it away from Blizzard.
Yeah, part of my problem is there's no way that it won't get micromanaged to death by upper echelon management. Because if you leave Toys for Bob loose to do whatever they want with it, I don't know what game you'll end up with, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, Toys for Bob usually does some pretty good stuff. They've mostly just been... and of course, they're coming down off the recent pure Spyro game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That did really well.
Okay.
The Reignited trilogy? Or Skylanders?
Reignited, I believe.
Full Spyro.
Yeah, that would be the Reignited.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reignited trilogy.
So it's like you're giving Overwatch 2 okay?
Like I said, if management could keep their fingers out of the pie, I don't know what game you'll get, but it'll be a very interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, part of
because it won't probably look that much like Overwatch.
Now, to be fair, Overwatch, of course, was a salvage of Project Titan, which was supposed to be a sci-fi MMORPG.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That fell through. And, of course, they turned it into this pure competitive esport thing. I mean, some people like that. Not my thing. But one of the biggest complaints out of it is there was no single-player campaign. Well, that kind of makes sense. They're supposed to be adding a single-player campaign to the new version. Or to number 2.
New game. Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if they handed it to a outside source just because of getting the single-player.
Maybe.
So... I had no doubts you would try, Sergeants, but the swiftness and surety of which you have done so is impressive indeed. As head of the Foreign Levy, I dare say you've been... As head of the Foreign Levy, I dare say I've never been prouder of an adventurers under my command. Rest assured that your deeds have been conveyed to the powers that be. I look forward to the day where I can congratulate you on a well-deserved promotion. Till sea swallows all. Does she have anything new? Nope, no.
Yeah, yes.
No, you don't want that one. That's Beastribe.
Okay.
We've been ignoring those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna apply for a promotion. Yeah, we've done...
You've already accomplished both. Very good. Currently, Chief Storm Sergeant. To qualify for Second Storm Lieutenant, you must fulfill the following requirements. Yay!
Yeah, I got the seals.
Oh, yeah.
Doom!
In the name of the Admiral, I hereby appoint you the rank of Second Storm Lieutenant. By this promotion, you are now eligible to transfer between the 3 grand companies of Eorzea. In order to entice more capable individuals to join the grand companies, the Alliance leaders recently introduced a system which allows members of one organization the freedom to transfer to another. If you wish to shift your allegiance, you may do so by speaking with the personnel officer of the grand company you wish to join. The procedure incurs a registration fee, though this payment is waived the first time you transfer. In addition to this privilege, you are also entitled to purchase land or an apartment in one of the residential districts established for adventurer use. If you have an interest in owning an estate or other property, I suggest you consult the resident caretaker in the district you fancy. Among other things, you will be able to learn how to go about purchasing a plot of land and building a hall upon it. Yeah, if all the land in the world is not majorly overbooked.
Yeah, I know. Originally, when housing came out, it was for FCs only, and you could only do it through the grand company that you had maxed out for its relation.
Why does he have a blue bang?
I don't know. Why do you have a blue bang?
Click on him. Because it went straight into something. Lieutenant Frith, I'm certain that your duties with the Maelstrom demand much of your time, but if I might have a word. I'll get right to the point, Lieutenant. The higher-ups have authorized plans to form a specialized squad. Oh. And we're on the lookout for a reliable leader. Your name was at the top of the list. You would be responsible for training and commanding a number of adventurer subordinates, and the position also comes with the possibility of further promotion. What say you, Lieutenant? Are you ready to lead?
Yeah, sure. I want a squadron.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they are herpaderps.
Outstanding. Let's get you acquainted with your second-in-command right.
Hey there, short stuff.
It's an honor to be serving with you, Lieutenant Frith. In my capacity as your aide, I'll be filling the role of Squadron Sergeant. And these eager troopers are the inaugural members of our squadron. Form up! Every one of them is a fledgling adventurer who enlists of following in your legendary footsteps. They're green to the military eye, but we'll harden them up soon enough. When you've a moment to spare, stop by the barracks and we can discuss their training and deployment in greater detail. I'll leave you to it then, Commander. So we now have the squadrons.
Or we can at least start building them up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it takes a while before we can get them to the point where we can actually run duties with them.
Yeah. What do you think? I'll admit they're raw as soldiers go, but they certainly have potential. I look forward to seeing what you can do with them. Right, I won't keep you any longer. Your squad's barracks can be found through the door at the back of the command room. May the navigator guide you to victory. You are now the commander of an adventurer squadron. Enter the Maelstrom barracks and speak with your squadron sergeant to issue deployment orders. Shall we go deploy them? And then forget they exist for a week?
Yeah, pretty much. Hello, Mr. Squadron Sergeant.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the Squadron Barracks, Commander. I've been fully debriefed on this new initiative and stand ready to answer any questions you have. First and foremost, however, we'll need to increase the number of squadron members. We have 3 recruits at present, but our squadron won't be ready to deploy until we have at least 4. Your own deeds as an adventurer should serve to attract new recruits. All you need to do is choose from the hopefuls who submit their enlistment papers. By completing categories in your challenge log, you will occasionally attract new recruits to your squadron. You can decide which recruits you wish to add to your squadron after visiting the barracks and reading the enlistment papers. You can also check if recruits are available by opening the timers interface located under duty in the main menu. Really? Visit the barracks and read the enlistment papers to decide which recruits you wish to add to your squadron. You get up to a total of
8.
8? Okay.
Yeah.
Basically 2 parties worth.
And we can't do anything until we get at least 1 more recruit and, well, yeah.
Because everything deploys in 4s.
Yep. Sorry, guys. You get to sit here for a while. But we do get access to another set of Glamour and Armoire.
Yes. I see one of your guys has been training hard already.
Yeah, I think Theron runs him ragged.
Okay, what next?
Well, we can do another Arm Veil and see if we can push 50 for at least a pair of classes. Or we can switch things up, or we can do a lower one for, like, Pugilist or Dragoon. Or we can do one of these side quests that's sitting in our logs.
Oh, yeah. Let's work on one of the side quests. Maybe get Forgotten Springs taken care of.
Yeah, do keep in mind that's going to be a chain of quests.
Oh, always. They don't come without chains. I'll probably carry us into next week, no problem, but that's fine. They need taking care of.
Actually, let's do Primal Fear first, because that's a 46.
Oh, okay. And while we travel back on...
Nope.
No.
That'll do.
Yeah, my lowest is... Warrior, which is just barely dinged over to 48. So, yeah, the same two guys were basically responsible for the first two Star Control games. And at the end of the game, they have a little epilogue that implies a further... Not that they actually had any immediate plans on doing anything with it. They had poured enough of themselves into the second that was, in fact, I meant to mention this earlier and forgot about it while we were doing all of this. In the original game, if you go through the files, you will find an extra, like, help file that is basically the errata for the manual. And it's long. And if you believe the statement at the beginning of it, which is probably, like, punched up a little bit for humor, the game was under development and had gotten a fair amount of the way through development and everything when the main two disappeared from Accolade for about 6 months. And when they caught up with them, they handed them, here's the nearly finished game, and it had grown by about 3 times its former size. You know, with all sorts of extra dialogue and more and things like that. So the reason why there's an extensive errata file for you is, you know, all the stuff that they'd poured into the game at the last moment.
Right. So yeah, this was a project of love for them, obviously. Sorry, I'm in ninja mode, so I tend to run fast.
And not only that, but you ran fast before I even...
Yeah, we need to...
So, like I said, they kind of implied a sequel. Now, the game did very well for Accolade. So even though Richie and Ford didn't really want to do a third game at that time, Accolade was desperate too. So they assigned the property to some other people. They did a novel, which I don't know too much about, but I think it kind of derails the plot hint you get at the end of 2. And then they did Star Control 3, which basically does a fair job of wrecking a decent chunk of the universe and anything that they hinted at the ending of 2.
Proceed to the seat of the first bow. Yes!
So, a large part of the problem with 3 is just the violence it does to the setting. Hi, Lewin. Frith? Frith, I've heard much of your deeds in recent days. You come to lend your strength to the primal investigation, yes? Your aid is most welcome. Well, that was easy. Quest over. Time to go. What do you mean you have more? How's the quest? Fine.
Gotta love these pointers.
Who was that man in black? Who Lord Lewin would have you ascertain the veracity of the ominous rumor circulating about Gridania of late. I shall proceed directly to the matter at hand. Though still unsubstantiated, ill rumors stir amongst the townspeople. Rumors of a shadow-clad knight who rides in the shroud. Under normal circumstances, I would pay such idle ghost stories little heed. This time, however, we have reason to suspect. But we have not to gain by rushing to judgment. I would have you go to the streets, Frith, speak with the people, and hear their words with your own ears. Yeah, my ears are good for that.
Huh? I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
not sorry.
Yeah. So I'm suddenly reminded of the bit in Star Trek 3 with McCoy going, "How can you be deaf with ears that large?" And
Ah, there he is. Chantalou.
a ghost knight? I saw him, clad from head to toe in armor that seemed forged from shadow itself, galloping through the shroud atop his hellsborn steed. Mark my words, the trees themselves were quivering in fear that night. I have not slept a wink since I returned.
So something is sneaking around the shroud.
And whatever it is seems shrouded in mystery.
I see what you did there.
Hope so.
Aiden?
Yes, I saw the Black Knight, after which I promptly fled for my dear life. Should you end up in my position, you'd be wise to do the same. Having fought this? Yes, yes. There's no way we're prepared for the main event of this. Not that that'll be part of the quest. I have my pride, but I am not fool enough to cast my life away. Besides, one look was enough to know this is a manifestation of pure evil. Were he to turn that massive sword against Gridania, all of our as one could not hope to stand in his way. Now, I note that they said we should be talking to the residents, but we're more checking with wood whalers, at least so far. QB, could you get off of them?
Is QB being annoying?
Could barely see the Lalafell for QB. Yeah, don't sneak up on me like that, friend. Forgive me. Ever since espying a glimpse of that ghastly horseman, my heart won't stop racing. I knew the elementals would punish us sooner or later for daring to disobey their will. This is surely a sign of sinister happenings to come.
A black knight on a horse with a giant sword.
Mm-hmm.
Hanuran?
I saw him clear as day, or clear as night, you might say, with my own 2 eyes. More fearsome than the rider was. I know not where you've traveled, but I can assure you, you've not seen a more frightening beast. One thing I can tell you, friend, that was no specter or shadow. Nay, he was as solid as you or me.
QB was doing his impression of Bahamut. Not wrong.
No.
Bahamut, look at my wing strand. I will destroy you.
Yeah.
Ah, there you are.
Ow.
So, Lewin, we've got a Black Knight on a dark steed with a really big sword.
A knight clad in shadow-forged armor, a mammoth sword, and hellsborn steed. It's clear now, our worst forebodings have proven most unfortunately prescient. Yeah, well,
Good
glad
luck
to help
with
you
that.
out on that. What, you still got more?
Yeah, he's got more.
That dark divinity. But Lord Lewin would seek the counsel of others. Ghostly knight atop his baleful steed. It is as I feared. Rumors bear a most inauspicious resemblance to the references in ancient scripture describing Udin, the dark divinity. It's my suspicion that the dark horseman of rumor is indeed Odin, and furthermore that this malevolent presence is a primal. And yet before the god's quiver takes action, I would seek counsel of one versed in the holy writings. Make for Quarry Mill and seek out Brother Oap Pessy. I would know what he knows. And be swift, Friths. If Odin is truly come to the shroud, time is not on our side.
Meanwhile, somewhere out there, Theron is sitting there, kind of doing his nails and going, and this is why I have nameplates turned off. It's the reason why I turned them off initially was to deal with an Odin fight where half the server showed up.
Yeah. Yeah. Those fights are amazing.
I haven't turned them back on since, and in about almost 4 years of playing since then, I've only had run into 2 instances where I had trouble in the fact that I did not have nameplates on. Go fig. It's like once every 2 years. But Odin is not a simple fight.
No, it's actually a very fight.
You show up and you die?
You show up, you watch parts of the crowd appear, the parts of the server will let you see. You get a glimpse of Odin, you see a big AoE fill half the zone, and you die.
Yeah, that's about right, yeah. At least he doesn't shoot missiles a zone and a half away. You know about that, right? With Formidable up in Calusia? If you are targeted with a missile and you die, and you release to the Aetheryte that's in a complete other end of the zone, the missiles will still target you.
Wow!
It is very common to have people effectively killed as soon as they've rezzed around the Aetherite and have all these innocent people who are not part of the fate at all
Wow!
just go off like Jiffy Pop containers. It's impressive. And I don't think they're ever going to fix it because I've got a feeling they're like, well, that was kind of unintended, but yeah, well, open world encounter. Sucks to be you.
Do your best.
Yes. I can just see Yoshi P standing there, or sitting there, leaning back in his gaming chair with a glass of wine. Do your best.
Yes. Thankfully, that's just thunderstorms. It would be highly ironic to come in here and see Odin weather.
Oh man, I really hope not. We are not ready for Odin, especially since he was retooled for level 60.
Something like that. Yeah, we are not prepared.
Oh, we are totally not prepared. The only thing worse is maybe Behemoth, who actually shows up rarer than Odin.
I'm not sure I've ever really seen that fight.
I've seen it like twice in like almost 5 years of playing.
Yeah.
And we seem to have
Side quests.
side quests here. So,
Let's deal with Oapesi.
well, just a second, I want to see what level of side quests they are. 46?
46.
We'll deal with them next week.
Both
but
46. Yeah.
we could
yeah,
probably shift down for
exactly.
those.
Oh, a little bit. Not for enough. Dragoon is 43 still. But we might get a chance to shift, get that up a little bit before next week.
Mm-hmm.
I am Oapesi, and you must be the adventurer I've been expecting. Ah, yes, Odin, the Dark Divinity. Lord Lewin is understandably distressed at his arrival. As one who's read the scriptures, however, I am not entirely surprised. Odin, as the ancient writings have it, rode forth into our world, wielding a dark blade capable of cleaving earth and the heavens. By his fell blade did perish Earth herself, and countless multitudes of her people. At long last, a great hero of Allag did rise to do battle with the dark god. Odin was slain, and his spirit sealed within a forest spring. For years, this was thought to be a mere wives' tale, a ghost story told by mothers to frighten their young ones into obedience. But recent archaeological studies at Allagan Ruins have unearthed damning evidence to the contrary. And now these rumors... The scriptures claim that the dark divinity slumbers in Earth's fount, deep in the heart of the shroud, where the power of a crystal confines him. I have ventured into the forest and seen the crystal with my own eyes. This was many years ago. It is entirely within the realm of possibility that something has gone terribly awry, and the fetters of crystal can confine the dark divinity no longer. I would send you to Earth's fount to investigate the matter, but be forewarned, your path will not be an easy one. Yeah, it's a high-level area. Should any evil spirit stand in your way, this water of cleansing should avail you.
Zoom!
Yeah,
Over the
that's
Hareband
right.
Gold.
All the way in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Looks like Kirdwin's doing cooking tonight.
Okay, so
good.
we'll raid him when we finish here. Thanks for the heads up.
Yep.
Yep, as I said, high level
Kids.
area. They're not kidding.
Okay, battle music fading.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Earth's font.
Earth seal. The last of the Alligans. I'm having trouble believing that the Alligans were boobies.
Oh, come on. Did that count for you?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Sundered binding stone.
This little spot is very pretty.
Yeah. This area is a kind of a neat looking one, despite the kids.
Zot zot, zot zot, zot zot zot. Well, we took a look at the stone, Apapesi.
Crystalline gale that held the dark divinity in check. Were you able to ascertain what has become of it? Nothing good. Sundered binding stone. This stone may have been the only thing preventing the Elder Primal Odin's return to Eorzea, and now the stone is destroyed. Magical energy still remains in this stone, though its powers have grown dim. What's more, behold how the stone has been cleaved clear in twain. By Odin's fell blade, there can be no doubt. Yes, there can be no doubt as to the identity of our unwelcome guest. And yet, it is almost curious. If the dark divinity rides free, why does he tarry in the shroud? Any road, you're to be commended for your bravery, adventurers. Simi is preparing a report on this very matter as we speak. Be most grateful if you could share your findings with well.
Simi is where? Up top.
Of course.
Ah, there she is.
Tread lightly, outsider. I'm watching you.
So, it is indeed as we feared. The seal of Earth's font has been broken, and the dark divinity rides again. I must draft a report immediately. Give me the money.
Yeah. Hey, look, another quest. Take this one now,
Yeah.
since it's part of the chain. All you wanted to know about Odin. And we're too scared of dying to ask. Simi would entrust you with a delivery.
Your assistance in the investigation has proven invaluable, adventurer. You have our thanks. With your aid, I finally have managed to complete my report, a thorough survey of all eyewitness reports, along with the most credible theories regarding the Dark Divinity's presence in the Shroud. I intend to deliver copies to To Brother O. Ap Passy and Beau Lord Lewin myself. The Scions, too, would no doubt be eager to hear of our findings. I'd be appreciative if you could deliver a copy to Eorzea in my stead. My duties demand that I remain composed, but in all truth, I fear for the fate of our people. Should the time come that the dark divinity draws his blade against Gridania, promise me that we can count on your aid.
Yeah, for all the 5 seconds I'll last.
And that's our pointer back. I assume we just want to chill here for the evening,
Yeah.
since we're in a rest spot.
Well, a rest spot with side quests.
Yep. Unfortunately, there's no good place to sit or eat or drink around here.
No.
Just kind of hang out by the Aetheryte.
Something like that.
In any case, thank you all very much for joining us this evening. We actually did get a lot done. We got several levels. We got this particular chain out of the way with just the pointer. We can log in next time and do more side quests.
And we got through Armvale for the first time.
Yes, and we got our
Nice scenic
squads,
Armvale.
and we got our ranks, and we're sitting pretty, actually.
Sitting pretty on Eorzea.
In any case, you guys all have a wonderful evening, and you guys have a wonderful week. We hope to see you back here on Saturday for more Heaven on High adventures. Good night, all.
Everyone have a great week.
Go watch Caradwen.
Let me go raid Caradwen. If I can spell his name correctly without twisting my back. I think that's correct. Yes! Yep. We are packing to raid Caradwen. Good night, all. Be safe. See you next week.
Yes.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.